despite your claims of success and the promises and commitments, while the Dáil was in recess, the human misery that is resulting from the housing and homelessness crisis continued and escalated. And with the Housing Commission and now the Central Bank telling us that your plan, Housing for All, is about half of what is actually necessary to deal with the deficit in housing, future needs, and particularly the deficit of social and affordable housing, the future is very, very grim. And I think it is important for us to focus on what that means for human beings. And I just want to tell you some of the cases that are coming across my desk just in the last week. Anthony is 67 years old. He has aggressive COPD, a heart condition, and he's been couch surfing and homeless since October of last year because he was evicted through no fault of his own. Gavin, somebody actually I've known since he was a teenager, is 62 years old. He's seeing a heart specialist, he's seeing a lung specialist, he has an open ulcer on his leg, he has been sleeping in his car, then he was sleeping in his tent, which was then recently stolen from him. And he is homeless with nowhere to go. Robert is 69 years old. He has heart disease, and he is going to be out of his home on the 21st of this month because his wife died and the family are selling the home and he has nowhere to go, and he was never on the housing list because he never thought he'd be in this situation. Linda is in her 50s. She is disabled, she has scoliosis, she has cardiac disease, she has had a pacemaker since she was, I think, 8 years old, couch surfing, and now separated from her son, because when you're couch surfing, it's difficult to find a place both for your child, so she's now separated from them. And then there's other people, like Sinead, who was 14 years on the housing list, and then lost all of her years because her son, who was at college, dropped out of college for a year, got a job, his income took the family household over the list, all her 14 years on the waiting list gone. Now left, and actually he's now back in college, back under the threshold, but all the years are gone. This is the sort of hopelessness people are facing. So I'm asking, what are you going to do different for these older people, vulnerable people, families, children who are in absolutely a dire state, and they're being told in most cases to go to hostels in the city centre, dormitory accommodation, nothing available in the locality, no prospect of a council house anytime soon, or even worse, knocked off the council list altogether with no prospect of being able to afford the private rents out there.
Just before calling the Minister to respond, can I ask members to join me in offering a céad míle fáilte Crisa to our counterparts from the Welsh Senate, led by Mr David Rees, Deputy Presiding Officer, the delegation, whom I was delighted to meet on my visit to the Senate in March, have a very busy programme of meetings with a number of Oireachtas committees. You're all heartily welcome, and we hope the visit proves beneficial. Now, Minister, please.
Curran fair fáilte freisin, and I hope you have a very successful and fruitful visit. Deputy Boyd Barrett, we've discussed and debated both here in the House and in committee over the last 4 years the challenges that remain in housing. I haven't claimed success. You said that at the start. Absolutely not. What I've very clearly put down is where progress has been made. Last year, we've built more new social homes than we've done in 50 years. In 50 years. And this year we will do more than that. This year we'll deliver, I don't know what Deputy Collins, have you got a problem? Yeah. Okay, well maybe you wait to ask a question. Let me answer Deputy Boyd Barrett if that's okay. So, on affordable housing, when this government came into office, there were no affordable homes offered at all, Deputy Boyd Barrett, you know that. Last year, 1,757 housing solutions on affordable housing. This year will be over 6,000. I'm not claiming success or that we've dealt with every challenge and every issue. Absolutely not. But unquestionably, to get to grips with what is still remains a massive challenge, on housing is to increase the supply that's there. Increase the supply in social, in affordable and in private homes. In your own constituency tomorrow, Shangana Castle, that Deputy Devlin knows very well, and others, 597 homes being delivered on that site by the Land Development Agency that didn't have legislation when we came into government and had no capital. They delivered nearly 1,000 homes last year. They'll do more than that this year. And a flagship estate that's being built there. My own constituency of Dublin Fingal, Ballinamastone, 1,200 homes, 253 social, 253 affordable. I could give you loads of examples and you know them. Now, even though we're building all of those properties, we still have more to do there, because there are people enter into homelessness and homeless emergency accommodation for a variety of reasons, as you have outlined there too. And we've got to make sure that we have a safety net for them and good quality emergency accommodation, that we can exit people out quicker. And we are doing that now. 630 households in Q2 alone exited into safe and secure homes. And that's why we've got to continue to increase the output, particularly of social housing. So our target this year we will attain as well. And we will attain and exceed the social housing target. As I speak to you here today, we've nearly 25,000 social housing units in the pipeline. And it is unprecedented. And even though Deputy Collins and others might disagree with that, it is simply a fact that we are delivering more social homes now than we've done in 50 years. Do we need to do more? Yes, yes, of course we do. And that's why we need a planning system as well that supports the delivery of the homes and the infrastructure that we need. That's why I expect deputies from all across the House to support the Planning and Development Bill when it comes back to the House here for final stages, so we can make sure that we've an efficient planning system where you can't have someone from Ballina objecting to the social housing development in Bray, where you can't have people blocking housing for people, delaying housing, where planning decisions being made in courts. This affects people. This delays housing delivery, and we're determined as a government to fix that planning system as well, and I look forward to receiving the support of all deputies opposite when this bill comes to the House at final stages at the start of October.
Minister, I've been campaigning on the Shangana site, which are going to open tomorrow, for 18 years. 18 years it's taken us to develop a public site to deliver 600 social and affordable houses. At that rate, we're facing a very, very grim and long housing crisis. By the way, we still don't know what price the affordable housing on that is going to be. There's going to be 200 social houses. There are about 5,000 families on the housing list in our area waiting 15 to 20 years. And many of the people in the cost rental bracket who've been thrown off the housing list because their income goes above it will not qualify for the cost rental on income grounds because their income isn't high enough and will be left high and dry. You didn't answer about the people I mentioned. Older, sick, vulnerable people. The only thing that's being offered to them when they live in Dún Laoghaire is to go to dormitory or hostel accommodation in Dublin city centre. And they won't go. They're terrified. They're too sick for that. And that's why they're sleeping in cars and couch surfing. They need something in their local area. And will you please do something about the thresholds? People 15, 16, 17 years on a list, and then it's gone.
Thank you, Deputy. Thank you. Minister,
Deputy, I was
please.
the first minister since 2011 to increase the social housing income limits. And we increased them all across the country, and they remain under review. Because we need to increase our own stock of social housing. And in the 4 years of this government, we have been able to do that and scale that up and scale up the capacity to deliver. Certainly, there is much more to do there. And I only used Shangana as an example. I could give you 20 more. You only have to drive around your own constituency or Dublin, anywhere across the 26 counties of the Republic, and see what developments are happening out there right now. And cost rental is making a difference, by the way, for lots of people. But I want to answer you specifically about seniors. It's a very good point that you've raised. There's a lot of people who are retired or on a state pension and that is a big focus in relation to ensuring that we have right-sizing initiatives in place for people, but our local authorities are actually building homes for our seniors and our more vulnerable people as well. Another challenge is exiting people from HAP, unsecure tenancies. In the last 3 years, we've exited 14,000 people from housing assistance payment into permanent, safe, secure social homes. And we'll continue the purchase of homes with tenant in situ this year, which has been a success.
Now,